All right, we are back. We are back with 6 new words. Here they are: nascent, plastic, acumen, malleable, shrewdness, and inchoate. Now, in the sentence equivalence question, you're going to be given 6 words. 6 words. I was about to show 3 for some reason. 6 words. You're going to, they're not going to be as hard as this one, all 6 of them, but probably 4 of them will be, 3 of them maybe. You need to group the synonyms, okay? And that's what we're practicing today. So, group 3 synonym pairs out of these 6 for me. Which words do we already know? I'll pause the video and do that now. So, we have malleable, shrewdness, inchoate, plastic, and nascent. What words might we already know? Probably malleable, right? So, look through the rest and ask yourself, are any of these synonyms to the word malleable? It may not be obvious to you, but there is one. The word plastic is synonym to malleable. I know. Our regular use of the word plastic is not the same as the literature use, okay? Think of the word brain plasticity. The words brain plasticity, that relates to having a mind that can be changed, right? Malleable brain. So that's the original meaning of the word plastic before we came up with, like shopping bags. So, nascent, acumen, shrewdness, and inchoate remain. How about we start with nascent? We have a root in nascent. The NAS is a root that, it's also NAT, same root, comes from nation, a place where you're born, nationality, nature. Even in French, they say date of birth has this, I'm gonna butcher it, so date de naissance. Yeah, and in Spanish, I'm sure it has a similar, something about birth, okay? So, nascent, it means just after being born, in early stages, in the very early stages, okay? You can say Michael Phelps' swimming abilities were already better than most Olympic athletes in his nascent stages. So, not really, obviously not as a baby, but his early stages, nascent stages, like when he was 13, 14, he was already in the Olympics at 14, I believe. I don't know, look it up. I'm not sure. But anyway, there's a use of the word nascent. We have a word here that is a synonym to it. It looks like a weird word, right? It's inchoate. All right? And I'm going to bring you through a GRE synonym group here. You know what a natal center is, right? A neonatal center, in a hospital. It's where all the babies are. So I want you to call it a neonascent center in your mind. You want to walk up to the neonascent center and imagine the first baby you see in those glass boxes. You see this baby eating a bunch of cheeseburgers, and you think, wow, that's strange. The baby is burgeoning, okay? Burgeoning is a synonym to nascent, and it's a synonym to inchoate. They both mean just in their early stages. The next baby is next to the air conditioning, and the baby's cold, so you put the baby in your coat. Inchoate. And then the last baby's sipping on a bottle, and the word is incipient. Okay? So that's just a way to memorize those words. Neonascent center, nascent, burgeoning, inchoate, and incipient. All right, let's keep going. And then our last 2 words are shrewdness and acumen, both meaning having good judgment. Okay? Good judgment. So, they don't really look like it, right? But maybe you've heard the phrase, like, that person has good business acumen. It means that they're sharp-witted with their business, I don't know, dealings. Sharp. Notice how I use the word sharp. An acute angle is a sharp angle. That's where this word comes from. Okay? Think sharp-witted. And shrewdness, also, we often think it has to do with like being cunning or something, like a shrewd. It seems very negative. But it did used to be negative. In literature, I think it was more negative, like in older novels. But today, it's more like just being intelligent, like with your just decision-making process. Okay? And then good judgment. All right, so let's do the last 6 words here. All right, so we have ubiquitous, cow. Cow, this is a verb, by the way. This is not a cow. By the way, I had one student one day. It was so funny. She just asked me, she's like, and what's cow? And it was just so funny because obviously, like, I know that she knows what a cow is. But when she asked that, we just started laughing. Because it's a funny thing to ask. What is cow? But anyway, we have cow, inept, pervasive, feckless, and intimidate. Intimidate. So, which ones are you going to group up? You can pause the video here. Let's start with inept. Remember, I talked about this earlier in a past video. We had apt and deft in the past video, and they both meant having an ability or skill, right? Being skillful. Inept was the antonym. It means you can't do anything. You're clumsy, right? The synonym to that would be, which one? Well, if you guessed feckless, then you're right. Feckless is to like being hopeless, okay? All right, what else do we have here? We have ubiquitous, cow, pervasive, and intimidate. All right, so let's start with ubiquitous. You can say something like cats are ubiquitous to most European cities, meaning they're everywhere. I'm not sure about that, but cats, okay? Ubiquitous. It means something that's spread, widespread, okay? And of course, pervasive is the synonym, pervasive. So that would obviously leave us with cow and intimidate. So to cow is to intimidate someone, to scare them, basically. Think of a big scary bull, all right, with horns. That's how I would remember it. Okay, so let's keep going. So we have ineptitude, maladroitness, banal, phlegmatic, placid, and platitudinal. So things we might be getting some repetition here. If you notice some words relate to words we've talked about in the past, that's a good thing. That means you're making connections. So, obviously inept looks very close to ineptitude, or ineptitude looks very close to inept, and you'd be right. They basically mean the same thing. One of them is just a noun. Ineptitude is the idea of being inept. So, what would be similar to that? So this MAL is a negative root. Basically means it's the opposite of what you're about to see. So adroit means to be skilled. Okay? So maladroitness is to be unskilled or clumsy, inept. Okay? All right, looking through the rest. We've spoken about 2 of these words before. Let me see if you can pick them up. They are banal and platitudinal. We had trite, we had hackneyed, we had quotidian, and we had insipid. These were all synonyms, and they all mean something that is boring or often repeated, having little meaning, okay? A platitude, remember I said a platitude was something like somebody saying, don't worry, it'll work out in the end. That's a platitude, okay? Because they're not really giving you like much like advice or anything. They're just basically like just saying what they've always heard. So we have 2 words remaining: placid and phlegmatic. Placid. Placid has a root, P-L-A-C. This root actually is Latin for peace. Think Lake Placid. If you've heard of Lake Placid, just think, oh, it's a peaceful lake, okay? To placate someone is to put them at ease. To placate someone is to put them at peace. To basically, if somebody has like demands, and you follow, and you reconcile with their demands, you're placating them, okay? And then finally, the synonym to that would be phlegmatic. Some of you who might be applying for nursing school, I know, phlegmatic. The root is like inflammation. It has nothing to do with being peaceful, but if you describe someone as phlegmatic, it means that they are like kind or calm in nature. It's better. So there you go. So anyway, make your synonym flashcards, and good luck. I will see you all next time.